Being that you're in Florida, and since you're responding to these scenes, do you ever, and I know sometimes it gets really hot down there, and sometimes it could be raining, it could be very humid. Are those like weather factors? Like, do you come across those factors often when you're at a scene, like whether it be humidity, heat, a lot of rain, that may what's the word I'm looking for? That may just hinder you when you're at a crime scene, that may hinder you in doing your job.
I could tell you I'm watching my window right now and the wind is picking up and it looks nasty out there. So yes, we get a lot of those summer storms. And that pretty much when we get that call out, checking the weather, checking outside, and me knowing, all right, when I get there, I need to bust my camera out and I need to take some photos and document as much as I can before moving that fragile evidence. That fragile evidence sometimes may have to be picked up and due to inclement weather. And I'll document that in my report because of the inclement weather. We describe a lot of our major cases, we'll describe the scene. So I'll notate it as, a rainy, windy night to notate that that condition is exactly how I responded to. So it's usually a battle, especially in Florida. Sometimes the rainstorms come in 5 seconds and then they go away.
Right.
Um, the heat is definitely a factor, just physically and mentally. Being out on a scene in June and being out on the same scene, let's say in December, is two different worlds because of that heat. It just
Right.
takes everything out of you. Even getting in and out of the van, I'm huffing and puffing, no matter how fit you are. We're fortunate we don't have a lot of uniform, like a lot of extra things on our uniform, but usually we're
Uh-huh.
on all black with our BDUs and we're dragging. So it can be difficult to navigate the heat, but just staying hydrated and checking in, taking frequent breaks when we need it, and still keeping an eye on our scene. That's what I usually do, having a big old water jug and the AC in the van blasting. So when I need a break,
Right.
I blast my face with AC and get my head in the game. And usually I'll go through my checklist. What do I need to do next? And even with the weather, we will be out there for hours. Our job is more, how do I say, with even with the challenges of like a scene, a difficult scene with weather, I don't ever want to try to rush. Even if the weather seems scary and bad, obviously for safety, you have to keep in mind, but I just want to make sure I'm getting it all. And if I'm uncomfortable and hot now, I always tell myself, just do your job, get it out of the way because you get to go home tonight and cool down. And that to
Right.
me is obviously I'm not going to put my health in jeopardy if I'm overheating, but I always pace myself and make sure that I'm still giving my all despite my discomfort. And that's something new CSIs need to understand, that you're going to be in very uncomfortable temperatures and climates, dark, hot homes or homes that haven't had AC on in
Hmm.
months or weeks. And sometimes you have to put those discomforts aside and consider that your job still needs to be done, because at the end of the day, court doesn't care about your comfort. They care about the evidence. And you can't risk evidence because of that discomfort.